Hello and welcome to this short video where I'm going to show you how you can fix crooked footage with your Avata 2. Now I'm actually also going to show you why it happens, because in some instances you might not want to correct it. So if you're new around here, my name is Justin, it's great to meet you, and if you've been here before, it's great to have you back. So let's figure out why we actually get crooked footage with the DJI Avata 2. The first thing we're going to notice here is that the Avata 2 only has a single axis gimbal. What that means is the camera can only move up and down on the gimbal, opposed to a more cinematic style drone like the DJI Mini 4 Pro, where we can see that this drone actually has a 3-axis gimbal, so it can actually keep the camera stable when the drone is pitching, rolling, and also yawing. Now, like I mentioned, the Avata 2 doesn't have that. We only have a single axis gimbal, which stabilizes on the pitch axis. So if we roll the aircraft, the camera also rolls, and if we yaw, the camera yaws too. And what this basically means is that, especially in windier situations, if the drone is trying to hold position, it's going to have to tilt over a little bit to maintain its position because it's having to fight the wind. And what that also means is, because the drone is tilted, the camera is going to be tilted, in which case our footage is going to be tilted. So what you see in the goggles is going to be the image is off to one side. Now I'm quickly just going to put the goggles on because we've got a nice windy day. I'm going to demonstrate this really nicely for you and just make things really clear. Okay, so we're up in the sky now, and as we can see, I have a high wind velocity on the screen. That's going to be another indicator that you're going to be getting crooked footage. Now at the moment, I'm pointed straight into the wind, so the wind is coming right towards the camera, in which case the gimbal is able to stabilize that on the pitch axis. But as soon as I turn, so if I turn 90 degrees here to the right, we can now see the drone is tilted to the left. That's because the wind is now coming from the left-hand side. The drone is tilted to the left in order to maintain its position. And if I start flying forwards, the tilt should actually lessen out ever so slightly as I'm moving, but we can see the image is still quite tilted because the drone is trying to maintain its forward position and fly directly forwards whilst also fighting that wind. So if I now turn another 90 degrees to the right, we're going to have the wind coming from behind the drone. We can see again, the image is now flat. That's because the drone is tilted forwards in this instance, so the camera can still stabilize, keeping the footage level. And if I fly forwards here, we're going to maintain nice level footage. So then, same again, if I turn another 90 degrees to the right, we're now going to have the wind coming from the right, and we can see the image is now tilted to the right-hand side. And again, if I fly forwards like this, we're still going to have that tilted image because the drone is fighting the wind. So how can you overcome this? First things first, if you can fly facing into or with the wind for the shot you want to get, then try and do that. That's going to make things a hell of a lot easier for you to capture your shot. Something else you can do is flick the drone into manual mode if you have the FPV3 controller. So if I flick it now into manual mode, and in manual mode, what you actually have is a lot more control over the angle of the drone. Because it's not trying to maintain a straight sort of GPS heading, we're now going against the wind, but we're still maintaining a level horizon. But you can see the drone is now drifting to the left because it's being pushed by the wind. And if we wanted to stay going straight, we would have to tilt the drone to the right. And there we go, we can see that we're getting pretty much the same effect that we had before. So manual flight does give you a little bit more control over that heading, and you can cancel out some of that tilting a little bit, but it's still going to be there. So how can you actually overcome this? Let me pause the drone. Look at that, massively tilted into the wind there. That's just the effects that wind has on drones. They have to try and fight the wind. Let me get my sunglasses back. Okay, so the first thing that you can do to sort of combat this is to not combat it at all. This is an FPV drone, and one of the beauties of flying FPV and getting FPV footage is the fact that we have more dynamic movement. Everything flows. We have that nice flowing tilting of the camera. So you should really try and embrace it as much as you can for FPV. Understandably, if you're trying to use the Avata 2 to get a really nice, smooth, stabilized shot where you want the horizon to be level, then that's going to be an issue. But DJI thought of this, and there is a feature that you can use called Horizon Steady. So let me just show you how to use Horizon Steady. Sunglasses off, goggles back on, sunglasses somehow on the top of their head. Look at this fashion icon right here. So to use Horizon Steady, what you're going to do, so if you go into the camera menu by pushing up on the joystick, scroll all the way to the end, and if you go into stabilization options, you can choose from off, rock steady, or horizon steady. Now just bear this in mind, if you want to use horizon steady, you must be shooting in the normal field of view, and you must be shooting in 16:9 aspect ratio. You cannot use Horizon Steady in any other formats other than this. So you can use it in any quality and frame rate, but it must be in 16:9 and a normal field of view. Now what Horizon Steady is then going to do is apply a horizon stabilization to your finished footage. So in the goggles, you're still going to see everything looking tilted, but once you pull that footage into your computer and you look at the actual video file from the drone, you'll see that the horizon has been leveled and you can have a beautifully balanced horizon, and it's going to get rid of that camera tilt. So if you're doing something like a real estate shoot or flying indoors or doing something where you need a level horizon, you can use Horizon Steady. Now also, if you want to, you can shoot in the wide field of view with stabilization turned off. And then when you pull your footage into gyro flow, you can also apply horizon leveling in gyro flow in order to get a similar effect. So the easiest way is just to use Horizon Steady natively with the Avata 2. But if you want to have a little bit more control, you can use that gyro flow option. If you're enjoying this video so far, consider becoming a member on Patreon, as it's one of the best ways to support the work that I'm doing here. And I've also currently started work on a cinematic FPV course, and if that's something that you would be interested in, you can sign up below to get on the wait list, and that's going to give you the latest developments and information on the course. Now, I've actually also started a weekly newsletter which gives you the latest drone news, hot tips and discounts, and you can find all of that in the video description. Whilst you're down there, tap the subscribe button and let's get back into it. So that is exactly why you get tilted footage with the Avata 2, how to overcome it, and basically the things that you have that you can use to get your footage nice and level again. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you're also going to enjoy this one right here. And if that one doesn't speak to you, then maybe this one here will instead. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.